If you have your own cocktail recipes and you want to make them with Perfect Drink, no problem. Perfect Drink supports fast and easy recipe creation and editing. To start a new recipe, touch the main menu button and select New Recipe. Choose the type of cocktail recipe to get started. For cocktails like a Tom Collins or gin and tonic that are poured and mixed in a glass, choose Built-in Glass. Choose Shaken for cocktails like daiquiris or Mai Tais that are made in a shaker. Choose Stirred for clear cocktails like a Negroni or Martini. If you choose the wrong style or have special requirements, don't worry. You can change anything in the recipe. Choose Shaken for this example. This is a template for a shaken cocktail that you can edit. At the top is the recipe title. Touch the title to edit it. Our new cocktail is called Washington's Mule. The prep section at the bottom of the recipe stack is where you can add ingredients and actions that happen before you start pouring. Our recipe calls for adding ice to a highball glass. To the left of the recipe stack is the editing palette. You can drag and drop these blocks into your recipe. Touch and hold the ingredient block and drag it into the prep section, then let go. Touch the Edit button on your new ingredient to open the ingredient picker. Touching New Ingredient will take you into the cabinet, where you can pick the ingredient you want to add. Scroll down to the Ice category and touch to open it. Highlight Ice Cubes and touch the Select button. There's no need to choose an amount since we're filling the glass as a prep step. Touch the Note field and enter Fill Glass. Then touch Save. Touch OK to close the picker. You've added an Ice Cubes block to the prep section. Now touch the shaker image next to it and select Highball Glass. Let's enter the first poured ingredient for our recipe. Touch the first New Ingredient block above the prep section and an Edit button will appear. Touch the Edit button. This is the ingredient editor. Touch New Ingredient to choose an ingredient. We recommend using Search to find ingredients. It's the fastest method. Type apple into the search bar. Choose Apple Brandy and touch Select. Set the amount to 2 ounces. Touch the Note field and enter something about this ingredient. Then touch OK. The first ingredient is finished. To delete a block, go to its Editor button and touch the Trash Can button. The next ingredient is lime juice. Instead of entering the amount, this time we'll measure it with the Perfect Drink scale. Place a container on the scale and pour the lime juice. Touch the Use Current Amount button. Notice that the amount picker is now set to our measured amount. Let's add a new ingredient. Choose Angostura Bitters and set the amount to 3 dashes. Whoops! We accidentally dropped the ingredient above the Shake and Strain action. If you touch and hold the Angostura Bitters block, the border of the block turns red to tell you the block can be moved. You can drag it below the Shake and Strain action and drop it into the correct position. This cocktail is topped with ginger beer. Add 3 ounces of ginger beer. Turn off the Scales Recipe switch. This tells Perfect Drink not to scale the other ingredients if you overpour this one. Since we're topping this drink with ginger beer, it isn't critical to the recipe if we pour a bit more. Now add a garnish. Change New Ingredient to Lime and set its unit to Wheel. The 2 buttons in the lower left corner allow you to edit other aspects of your recipe. The button on top labeled 1 serving lets you change the number of servings this recipe makes. It doesn't scale the quantities you entered, but simply sets the number of servings for the recipe as you entered it. The next button lets you specify the categories this recipe belongs to, take a photo, or choose an existing one, and enter a description for this recipe. Touch Add Remove Recipe Categories and select Highballs and Intermediate. Then touch OK. Let's save our recipe. Touch the Save button at the top of the screen under the recipe name. There's an error message telling us something's wrong with our recipe. It says the highball glass isn't used. This is because we added the highball glass in the prep section, but we didn't change the final container to a highball glass. Touch OK to dismiss the error. Notice that the shaker has a dot next to it, while the highball glass doesn't. If a container doesn't have a dot, it indicates that its contents aren't used in the recipe, and you'll get an error if you try to save it. Touch the cocktail glass in the shake and strain action and change it to a highball glass. Now touch Save again. A message appears telling us Washington's Mule saved. Now we'll look at how to edit existing recipes. Select the Abbey cocktail and touch the Edit button in the upper right. Touch Edit a Copy. You can only edit a copy of a recipe that comes with Perfect Drink, but when you edit your own recipes, you'll be able to choose to edit a copy or the original. We're now editing a copy of the Abbey. Notice that the recipe name is Abbey No. 2. Perfect Drink will automatically number your recipe variations, but you can change the title to anything you like. Delete the orange bitters ingredient and touch Save. Then touch Back to return to the Browse screen. The icon in the upper left corner of the Abbey cocktail picture tells us that there are variations of it available. Touching Abbey now displays all its variations. If you touch the Abbey No. 2 recipe and then touch the Edit button, you'll see that you now have the option to edit a copy, or delete it. Now you can enter your favorite recipes and use Perfect Drink to make them. For more information, visit our website at www.perfectdrinkapp.com.